Back in 2023, I lived through one of the most terrifying nights of my life, and honestly, I still can't explain it. I never liked being home alone before, but after that night, I haven't spent another one anywhere by myself since. My fiancé Brian and I were house hunting after our lease ended, and a family friend offered us a cheap month-to-month rental. A nice house in a great area. The catch was that both previous residents, an elderly couple, had died there within weeks of each other. It didn't bother Ryan at all, but it unsettled me. We later learned the wife had fallen and hit her head on an end table, leaving a blood stain on the old carpet, and that her husband had died of a heart attack in the basement just weeks earlier. Despite the unease, the price was right. And once the carpet was replaced and the place repainted, I started to settle in. About a month later, Ryan left for his bachelor party weekend. I had our dog Rex for company and felt okay until that Friday night, when Rex suddenly started barking at the basement door, completely out of character for him. I cracked the door open, remembered the husband had died down there, and froze, too scared to go down or even look properly in the dark. I shut the door and went to bed, where Rex stayed alert at the foot of the bed all night instead of settling down. The next morning, I found the washing machine shoved several feet from the wall. No explanation. Nothing else disturbed. I pushed it back, rattled, but trying to carry on with my day. Ryan was sympathetic on the phone, but skeptical. The type who believes everything has a logical explanation. Saturday night, while watching TV with Rex, I heard what sounded like an explosion outside. My garage camera had caught the garage door, which we never used, wide open, with flashes in the driveway like fireworks, though there was zero physical evidence of any when I checked. I closed everything up and went to bed anxious, getting up several times to check the alarm. Around 3:39 a.m., I woke to violent pounding on the front door. My bedroom door was shut, but I heard the security system announce the front door had opened. My phone wouldn't turn on. I watched the doorknob visibly shaking and screamed for whoever it was to leave. The police arrived to find the front door wide open but nothing missing and no sign of forced entry. They blamed the fireworks on kids and the door on wind, despite a deadbolt and a calm night. After they left, I took Rex to my parents' house and stayed until Ryan got home. He didn't believe it was paranormal, but agreed something strange had happened. We stayed a couple more months until our new house was ready, and nothing like that ever occurred again. To this day, I still don't have an explanation, and I hope I never experienced anything like it again. That wasn't the only unexplainable night I've lived through, though. Years before that, I used to live near a bar, close enough to see the smoking area from my driveway, which made weekends rough since I worked retail and needed sleep during exactly the hours they partied. One night stands out above the rest. My best friend Hila, basically a sister to me, came over for dinner while playing matchmaker, something she did constantly since I'm hopeless with strangers despite loving my quiet, nerdy life at home. After Hila left around 10 p.m., I noticed a group of women outside the bar, one of whom kept staring at me, then waved and blew me a kiss before heading inside with her friends. I brushed it off as someone who'd had too much to drink and went back to my video games. Around 1:30 a.m., a knock came at the door. No one was there when I checked the window, which wasn't unusual given the bar crowd. 15 minutes later, I noticed my car's interior light on and the driver's door cracked open. Assuming someone was rummaging through it again, I checked, found it empty, and locked it. Back inside, I noticed a lingering lavender perfume smell I couldn't place. Trying to sleep, I heard quick, light footsteps running around outside my room, followed by soft giggling. I called the police immediately, then grabbed a golf club and crept through the house once the noise stopped. In the kitchen, I found a small blonde woman in a tattered pink dress staring out the window. the same woman from outside the bar earlier. Without turning around, she said, "Hey, buddy, I know you're there," then spun and charged at me. I locked myself in the bathroom while she pounded on the door. When police arrived, she was gone, but one of my kitchen knives was lying right outside the bathroom door, and the back door had been left open. The bar owner recognized her description immediately, said she'd been harassing customers before he kicked her out, and she'd lingered outside until he threatened to call the police. I never saw her again and still don't know how she got inside. My best guess is she slipped in while I was checking my car. I'm just grateful nothing worse happened, and I genuinely hope she got whatever help she needed. Strangely enough, that wasn't even the most unsettling thing to ever happen to me in my own home. I've spent most of my adult life alone by choice, focusing on building my interior design business rather than relationships. In my mid-30s, after years of saving, I finally bought my dream home. A few months in, while working from my home office, I started hearing an odd shuffling noise. Brief but disruptive, like something being dragged in another room. After repeated searches turned up nothing, I convinced myself it was squirrels in the siding, something I'd dealt with growing up and kept meaning to call someone about it. One night, working until 2 a.m., I heard the shuffling again, this time continuous instead of brief. Standing on my bed to listen through the ceiling, the shuffling stopped, replaced by what sounded like breathing. I remembered my house had a small crawl space directly above my bedroom. Terrified but still clinging to the squirrel theory, I pulled down the access ladder and quickly glanced inside, seeing only 2 support beams in the dark before shutting it again. Unable to sleep, I sat in the living room with the TV on until I heard a door creak, jolting me awake. I searched the downstairs thoroughly and found nothing, then went back upstairs, where I noticed the crawl space pull string hanging down and slightly swaying. My bedroom door, which I always leave open, was almost shut and creaking loudly when I pushed it, the exact sound I'd heard earlier. Inside, everything looked normal except a small clump of dirt on the floor. As I crouched to examine it, I heard the breathing again, and looking under the bed, found a middle-aged man staring directly back at me. I screamed and scrambled backward as he calmly said, "Hey, Julie, it's okay," repeating it while I struggled to get up. I ran downstairs, grabbed my phone and keys, and drove straight to an all-night diner, calling police from there. Officers searched my house thoroughly, but found no one. Only empty water bottles and a small pillow tucked behind one of the crawl space beams. I lived in a motel for nearly a month afterward and invested heavily in security cameras. It's been a year, and he's never resurfaced. My best guess is that it was an old friend of my father's, someone cut off years ago for showing inappropriate interest in me, just aged far beyond how I remembered him. Whoever he actually was, he knew my name and had been living undetected in my crawl space. It taught me that locking your doors isn't always enough if someone is truly determined to get in, and it's the reason I never want to live alone again.